Hello students, today we are doing lesson 7.2, dividing rational numbers. I do not feel well right now, so you may hear me sniffling or coughing, but this is a short lesson, so it shouldn't take that long. So just like lesson 7.1 that said multiplying rational numbers, this is the same as we're just going to be dividing fractions. So your book says dividing rational numbers, but we're just working on dividing fractions. Okay, remember you should be taking notes. So the first thing you need to know before we start is about reciprocals. So reciprocal are just two numbers whose product, or when you multiply them together, equals 1. So in fractions, we might start with 3/5. And if I multiplied by 5/3, that is going to give me 1. So we learned with lesson 7.1 that these cancel each other out, and that would equal 1, right? So what did you notice about these two numbers? If you notice, they are just the flip of each other, right? The 5 goes on top and the 3 goes on bottom. So the reciprocal is just a flip of the number. So if I had 3/4, the reciprocal would be 4/3. Now, what if I had 5? Well, 5 as a fraction is 5/1. So the reciprocal would be 1/5. Now, you need to know this for dividing fractions. Okay, if I had a mixed number, then before I can flip it, you cannot flip it as a mixed number. I need to do my multiply and add. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5/2. And then I can flip it to get my reciprocal. So you have to first change it into an improper fraction and then flip it. Okay, now that you know what reciprocals are, let's talk about how we divide fractions. So if I did something like, well, actually, I'm going to try and make this shorter, so I'm just going to go right into the examples. So example 1 is 9/10 divided by 3/4. So when we divide fractions, it is the same thing as if we multiplied by the reciprocal. So I'm going to change this problem into 9/10 times. So instead of dividing, I'm going to change it to times. And then I'm going to change that second number to its reciprocal. So 4/3. You only flip or get the reciprocal of the second number fraction. You do not do it for the first one. So now I can simplify. Same way we did with the last lesson is simplify first. So I can divide both of those by 2. On this one, I can divide both of these by 3. Now I can just multiply because this is multiply, right? So now I can just multiply my top numbers. My numerators is 6. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Always remember to simplify. And there's my answer. So let's do another one. And then I'm going to have you do 2 on your own. So on example 2, we're going to do it. We're going to do one that's a little bit different. This one's going to have mixed numbers in it. So I have 9, big 9, divided by 2. It's 7/10. So first I have to change, when we're multiplying or dividing fractions, or mixed numbers, we need to change them into fractions. So this is going to be 9/1. I'm just going to keep it divide for now because I want to do a step at a time. Then we're going to change this one into an improper fraction. So remember, to do that, we do 10 times 2 is 20, plus 7 is 27. All over 10, we keep the denominator the same. Okay, now I'm going to change this to a multiplication problem. So to do that, I keep the first number the same, right? 9/1. Then I change the division to times. And then that last one, I'm going to flip. So I'm going to make it its reciprocal. Now I can simplify. Both of these can be divided by 9. So I'm going to put 1 and 3. I can multiply across 10/3. And then I simplify once again because this is improper. So 3 goes into 10 3 times. I have 1 left over, and 3 stays on the bottom. Remember, a lot of y'all are getting points, a lot of points taken off for not simplifying, so don't forget to simplify. Okay, the next 2 examples are going to be on your own. So example 3, on your own, I want you to do, let's do 3/5 divided by 7/10. Okay, I want you to hit pause, do this on your own, and then come back when you're finished and hit play. Okay, so you should have first changed this to multiplication. So when I do change that to multiplication, that means I have to flip my second number. Never flip the first number. I say that over and over again because y'all will forget. Or some of y'all will forget. Okay, now I simplify. So 5 and 10 can both be divided by 5. That's going to be a 1, and that's going to be a 2. So now at the top I have 6, and on my denominator I have 7. And that's my answer. That's what y'all should have gotten. Okay, last example. Example 4, you're going to do on your own. If you haven't gotten it by now, go back and rewatch the lesson again. Okay, let's do 4 1/8 divided by 2 3/4. Okay, so these are mixed numbers. So before you flip or change anything, you have to change them both to improper fractions. So I want you to hit pause, do the whole problem on your own, and then come back and watch it and see if you did it right. Okay, you should have paused and done this on your own. Now we're going to change, but first you should have changed them both to improper fractions. So 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 1 is 33 over 8. I'm going to keep this division because I'm just changing them right now. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 3 is 11 over 4. Now I'm going to change it to multiplication. So I'm going to do the first number, first fraction stays the same. Change it to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip that second number. So I'm writing its reciprocal. Okay, now I'm going to simplify on both diagonals, this one and this one, I can simplify. So first I'm going to do the 33 and the 11. Those can both be divided by 11. So this is going to become 3. This is going to become 1. On 8 and 4, they can both be divided by 4. So this is going to become 2. And this is going to become 1. Now I multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3. On the bottom, 2 times 1 is 2. Then I have an improper fraction. I need to change it into a mixed number. So 2 goes into 3 one time. I have 1 left over and 2 on the bottom. And that's it. So that's what you should be doing today for your lesson. And if you don't understand it, go back and watch it one step at a time, each example on its own. And then hopefully that will help you. If not, if you're still having problems, make sure you ask questions in class tomorrow. That's all.